has been playing. Again, was a little bit skeptical, just sharing. They haven't had all the success in the world in the ALGS tournament so far. However, they have proved me completely wrong with their performance thus far. Meanwhile, Outsiders, another team that is consistently in the top 3 in almost every single tournament that doesn't get nearly enough recognition as they deserve. They're currently sitting in 4th place right behind Myth. So one thing to keep an eye on here and keep in mind, Onset set the stage brilliantly with our top 5 teams. However, there's a fight for 1st place, of course. North currently with 11 points and in that current position over Alliance. There's also a fight for top 3, because keep in mind, top 3 do qualify for the playoffs. That's the giant chunk of prize money that's going to be coming in September. The EMEA playoffs, the Americas playoffs will be coming. Top 3 teams from each summer circuit tournament. This is summer circuit number 3. We got 4 and 5 after this. Will get a qualifying spot and not have to play through those grueling last chance qualifiers to make it to the playoffs in September. So that top 3 is an important threshold. Currently, Outsiders right behind Myth with 36. Outsiders has 35. TI Black with 30. Major Pushers with 29. Triumph with 28. It is a 5-team race for top 3.
Ad Hoc Gaming here, who have not had a day to remember so far. In our Super Regional number 3 are finding themselves on the back foot once more as they're going to lose Matafi here. 0-0's going to have to try and portal him out. And as that ring is closing, when you get those players knocked in that first battle, it means that those third parties are going to be very interested in getting involved and trying to lay a few shots down themselves to try and steal away some KP as you're trying to escape. So it's more difficult to get away to positions. And in comparison to what we have on World's Edge, and as I keep talking about, the close quarters nature of this map just makes decision-making all the more vital in what fights to take and what ones to back down from.
Yep, that's exactly right. We saw Ad Hoc Gaming, a team who used to run a Gibraltar meta, but currently is opting for the Watson Pathfinder Wraith kind of common meta that we've seen all the way back to the preseason invitational. Currently on board with North, though, as we are seeing North in a unique mid-game position here. Let's go ahead and jump into a quick mid-game listen and to see what the comms of North are like.
Fighting here. Kuya got knocked there. Again. Kuya got finished.
I didn't got the kill, I think. No.
Oh no, he got knocked. Oh, he got rest.
1 HP on the raid, bro. He's dead, he's dead, he's dead. They're all dead. They're all dead. There's loot here.
Can you come back?
Yeah, I can come back. Oh no, I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead. Help me, help me, help me, help me, help me. Watch me, watch me, watch me, watch me.
I'm
Coming also.
I need help.
170 on the raid.
Watch me, just watch me, please.
Wait, cute. Here. She took TP.
She took ball, she took ball.
Okay, okay.
It's the team from here.
We got you,
Okay,
come back,
okay.
Rich. I'm going back, I'm going back.
Listen, you watch me here, man, Dave. I'm gonna go for that loot.
I'm gonna look for you. I'm gonna look on you.
We're in.
I'm just shooting the other guys now.
I need you to watch me right now. Really badly.
I'm taking the high ground above you then.
R9 here. I'm getting all the loot. You need this?
I need fucking...
I need a bolt. I need shotgun bolt.
I need light. I got 130.
This guy has 6 ult axles on him. I got 2.
I have 4 on me.
Okay.
I'm going for light real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Give an eye for bolt, please. Give an eye for bolt. I need a shotgun bolt.
They're looking at us, man.
Okay, yeah, I'm going. I'm going back.
I got 4 ult axles.
Team might come on us. This team might come on us right now.
I'm coming.
Brilliant live look and listen into North's comms. As I love what I'm seeing right there. Talking for each other. They're running a little bit of a split. While they're running that split, though, they're maintaining great communication throughout. The Wraith player by himself at RPR is saying, hey, I need you to look for me. I need your cover. I need your cover. Immediately, you see the last 2 swing right over and kind of escort him out of there. And then he decides, hey, I want to go back to this loot. Can you continue to cover me? And they're able to do exactly that. Brilliant chemistry, brilliant communication, and going to show why North is one of the best teams in the game right now with some of the best chemistry in the game.
And showing why they're top of the leaderboards at the moment. That communication has been key to their success so far here. As we are, of course, into our Game 5 on Kings Canyon. But something else to note out there is hearing it from the player's point of view. Not only the communication, but the audio cues. While they're looting, you could hear that crypto drone just hovering above them. And that just puts the jeepers in you, right? You think, are we going to get EMP'd in this position? Is there a team watching us that is going to want to try and push? So these are all these micro decisions that are going on in players' heads all at one time. And there's still 16 squads remaining in the game. It really is going to be one of those rings now as we close in around 25 seconds time that is going to take a lot of teams potentially out of the game in one swoop.
Yeah, it's a great call out. While still maintaining their cool, while still acting with business as usual, thwarting off any teams pushing, looting, communicating it as a team. It is insane how much these players have to manage. But, you know, on the communication piece, I think one thing that in esports shines more than traditional sports is the need to communicate, the need to have such precise communication. The reason I love these listen-ins and this kind of feature that we've added to the Apex broadcast is it gives you an inside look as to how brilliant, how precise, how great the communications of these players are. If you're an aspiring Apex player, work on your communications. That makes all the difference. I would put that right up there with mechanical skill and one of the most important traits of being a top player in Apex Legends or any esport.
Yeah, I have to completely agree with you, and you can see how those decisions are made in real time and how not only the mechanical skill is part of the game, that's 50% of it, it's the decision making, it's the rotations, it's being able to cover your teammates and make those plays that count. And speaking of making plays, as we jump on board with DNMK, there is a Kraber in the hands of one of their players here, so a chance to make a highlight play for a South African team, and they're just inside this next circle here, but having that Kraber in your hand as I take a quick peek at the kill feed and see Flavor of the Month getting a little bit saucy against the Lava City boys, taking them down. It means that you can find an opening, you can push onto a team. If you can hit a headshot with that Kraber, it gives you that opening to create a 3v2 situation.
Yep, in about 2 minutes, the ring will be closing. They'll have to rotate with that Kraber as well. So things are about to heat up here for DNMK. Of course, if you did not hear it before, the only South African team to have ever qualified for a grand finals. It is great to see. However, this is an elevated lobby. I'm sure they're used to a lot of the scrim lobbies down from the Middle East and Africa region. However, they're playing against some of the best European teams in the game right now, and they're learning. You got to think it's pretty hard for them to get into scrim lobbies against European teams all the way down from South Africa, given geography and ping differences. So DNMK getting some great practice in right now. I've liked a lot of what I've seen from them so far, but they still have some work to do.
Yeah, Rexu has to hit one of these shots here on this rotation to create an opening for his team. Na'Vi inside the circle, or should I say just outside of the next circle. So they're holed up in a building at the moment. You can see the communication's going to be going down between 9imps and the rest of his team about how they want to try and get out of this situation, where they want to try and portal to, or how they're going to make their next move. But one team who's looking to be sitting pretty up on this high ground at the moment and sitting pretty in first place is North inside that top 14. They have KP on the board as well. And like I mentioned, they have an 11-point advantage over the second place team here. So every single team that falls in front of them here is news and music to the ears of North.
That's exactly right. And despite running that common Pathfinder comp, they've still been kind of playing a lurk type of strategy outside the main area. Meanwhile, it looks like our Revenant squad, it's going to be Third Impact, who's gotten quite a few kills already. We see 3 kills alone for Jazaz on screen right now. They're going to find yet another team. It's going to be Outsiders, both of them getting taken out. And that's crucial because guess what? Outsiders is 1 rank above them in 4th place with Third Impact Black in 5th place with 30 points. You got to think that's going to flip here. Third Impact Black making a great run for this top 3.
And we talk about Revenant's ultimate all the time, the totem, and how impressive that is, but the silence is so huge. If you can hit a Wraith on rotation with that silence, that takes the portal completely out of the game and just essentially leaves a team as sitting ducks. So it's something that we should maybe talk a little bit more about when it's used effectively. His silence is such a fantastic ability if used correctly in conjunction with that ultimate that you have, shows why Revenant has become a real viable competitive character now in Apex Legends in comparison to previous times.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Massive and well said. Of course, almost a hard counter to Wraith, who is some of the best ability kit in the entire game. That Revenant silence is huge. Meanwhile, jumping on board with Luminosity Gaming, Gambit looked like they're able to pick up a few kills. Luminosity picking up 1 as well. Luminosity sitting in 12th place right now, needs a massive game. And first place finish here, first place finish next game to even be in contention for the top 3. We'll see what they can do now on board with Rugby, former member of CHMK.
Yeah, Gambit Esports getting involved in a scuffle themselves as well, and they will win that fight. So Gambit now inside that circle, and you have to say, probably in the prime position here to win this game. You can see where that circle is going to be closing, and it is at the front steps of where Gambit Esports are currently living. And you can see all of the loot they've got inside the building as well. They've got swaps, they've got meds, they've got everything you can possibly need. They are set up for success here. The question is a team going to try and push this building? A couple of teams going to see how valuable that is and dare to challenge Gambit Esports as we see a big headshot coming through to break the armor from Artico and the team just across from them. But 12 squads remaining here. You are going to see that evaporate in the next 40 seconds down to about 5 or 6.
Yeah, they got themselves a hospital. It's a medical hut where they're currently set up with all the loot that they have in a great position here. So you got to think Gambit very well positioned to potentially close this one out, which would be a big win for them, given they're in 9th place. They have some work to do to sneak their way back into that top 3, which is more than possible. They're only about 13 points behind. We'll see what Gambit can do. Meanwhile, on board of North, oh my goodness, connecting for great shots is RPR with the Mastiff, with a team right below them. Not exactly sure who it is just yet. We will find out momentarily, but North playing with some fire here.
This is potentially the tournament here for North. If North win a battle and manage to rotate in here, they've already got KP in the books. They've already got an 11-point lead. If they execute this next maneuver in this rotation and manage to find themselves in a safe position, this could be potentially their tournament. Mandy actually gets a knock as well onto one player, so that could be another KP going into the hands of North. As you see Gambit trying to light up these teams, trying to rotate in onto their front door, but Gambit here really controlling the pace of the game as Alliance Vapes is going to be absolutely melted by the shots coming out of the R99.
Oh my gosh, Leo Ogre hits for 138 damage to the R99. He's not done yet. He just put up 300 damage in a matter of seconds. Finally gonna get a knock. Look at the kill feed. It's absolutely lit up with Gambit and so many other players right now. 7 squads dwindling down as Gambit is in such a perfect position to close this one out. They get the prime positioning despite not having a Pathfinder, but the kill feed continues to pop off as Luminosity Gaming also continues.
I think the North is still in this as well. I think they were battling with Natsuki, Strafe, and Delwyn, all of that. So Gambit Esports, as I say, kings of the castle here, with the game in their hands, picking up KP for days and damage for days. But as I say, the bigger question for me was, did North survive in this rotation? If they've managed to, North could have just won this tournament.
That's exactly right. A strong finish here for North should punch their ticket to a first place finish, their first championship, their first victory in Apex Legends Global Series, but they still have Myth to get through. The 3rd place team right now in Myth with 36 points, hunting for first, by the way, is alive. We're keeping an eye to see if North still is in the game as it currently stands. 4 squads remain in this one. Myth, full squad in this, in the circle. So a good position right now for Myth, representing Gibraltar and Caustic. So you know that Dome Shield plus Caustic Gas combo is going to be crucial for them as this circle gets smaller and smaller.
Yeah, that's going to give them a base of operations, and North are still involved in this end game. They've made it to the top 4. RPR and Mandy, what a play from them to get in this position. And as I mentioned, they also have managed to take the high ground as we see Triumph, the other team involved in this final skirmish. 8 seconds to go here before the final circle closes. The question is, can North pull off a miracle here in this game number 5?
That's exactly right. The most consistent team, bar none. But going to show the consistency of Apex, our top 4 teams here are our top 7 teams in the standings as they continue to perform. On board with Gambit now. Gambit still more than content holding this corner. A great position for Gambit as other teams are going to be forced to fight. They are certainly going to be a top 2 team here unless they do something mistakenly wrong. Currently, North, Myth, and Triumph on the outside looking to fight and to dwindle this down to a top 2.
But look at this. Everyone's found themselves a little cubby hole, and everyone's found themselves in a place where nobody wants to be the first team to engage in any kind of firefight here. Every team just waiting for an audio cue, waiting to see a knock in that kill feed before they make their move. And we're going to kind of have a minute or so of not too much happening here between these teams, as everyone is still safe, still comfortable in this zone.
This is an absolutely crazy finish on set. It's not very often is the ring going to close and all 4 teams are still able to find positioning, to find a foothold, and to not have to force a fight. So it's going to come down to this last circle. And I'll tell you right now, it is going to be an absolute bloodbath. So buckle up, get ready. Game number 5. We have 1 game left. Teams are vying for top 10 to qualify for the next tournament and top 3 to qualify for the playoffs. And of course, a part of that prize pool. It's going to come down to this last fight. If North wins this, you got to think it's all but over in this tournament.
So 58 seconds left. Amandi, I'm not sure if he has any heals to work with at the moment. You can see his shield's going down. He does have an armor swap there. The Wraiths are going to be setting up those portals as well to try and find their way into that next zone. And we have to remember that Myth have that Caustic as well. And he is so devastating as a character with his ultimate and those canisters towards the end of the game. Nice shots there from Mandy to do 70 damage onto one of the players from Gambit trying to poke outside of that door, but here come the grenades up to height here, and you can see the Mandy's in all sorts of trouble, and he will be knocked. RPR will go out. North are the first team to drop here.
And guess who it is? None other than Gambit themselves, who push North, catch them with their pants down, and connect for 2 kills. That is huge. North, the first team out, 4th place. Myth still alive in this one. They would love a Watson right now, but they don't have it. This is going to be brutal right now for Myth as the defensive bombardment is raining down from the Gibraltar ultimate. Meanwhile, It looks like actually that was, I believe, their defensive bombardment. My apologies here. As Gambit now on board with a Watson on their team, they were able to thwart that off. 3 versus 3 versus 3 fight to close this one out.
Hands up in the air if you've got a grenade in your hand. Triumph are going to be feeling the pain of that thermite as well. But here comes the final push between these 3 teams. Grateful going to be dropping in, spraying and praying inside this final circle. He'll be pulled back into the pool to try and stay alive and get back in. But it won't be him and his team who will take home the win. It will be Gambit Esports. They had